Hi, and welcome. Today, I'm really excited to share with you the three-step system that I have been using for myself and for my clients over the past years. Um, this is something that maybe I intuited, I don't know, but it also comes from my life experience too, and not only for myself, but also helping my guide my clients through this. And by sharing this attracting and securing love system with you, I hope that you can do two things with it. One, be able to identify where you are in this journey so that you can know what to work on and know what kinds of challenges that are the ones that are most appropriate to address now. Because let's face it, the achievers out there like to put themselves ahead of where they really are, and that just sets yourself up for disappointment and sometimes not as successful results as you really intend. And the second thing that I want to be able for you to get out of this video is to be able to understand the journey, that the journey begins somewhere and that there is an ending, and an ending that can be very inspirational and life-giving, and it is possible to attain with the work that goes ahead with the previous steps. Just a little note, I will say that for me, I find that relationships are cycles. We come to births and rebirths in these relationships that we decide to commit to with our partners. And often we can be in one step, go through all the different steps, and we come back to the first one again to start a renewal process, which is just deepening and enlivening and really making a more dynamic and rich relationship, one that wasn't as possible before going through the journey before that. So if you feel like where you really need to be at is somewhere maybe where you are not really, where you're judging yourself, feel like you should be higher or more elevated than you really are, that's okay, because honestly, I go through the same steps over and over again too, continuing to bring new life into my relationship. So let's get to it. Oh, I should explain. I'm Kristen, and I am a relationship coach helping women attract and secure the love of their life. And not only that, to really attract and secure the life of their dreams, because let's face it, when we become the woman who we really are, we can, anything is possible. Life explosion and wonderful awesomeness. Um, I have a couple free downloads that you may have seen popping in here and there. So I've written on that. I've been featured on some stages, including one with Christian Michelson's mastermind group. And I am really excited to teach you what's behind all the stuff that I've been doing. So here we go. This is what I made a drawing for you. Okay. This is called the heart and body and soul. This may be backwards in your view, but this is basically the beginning, the core of my work, the heart, the body, and the soul. That's my representation for you. And what I mean by that is the heart of the work is really the work on yourself. And the work on yourself is a fundamental foundation for being able to do the interpersonal work, which I call the body of my work. So the body of my work is some of the more things that you're used to seeing when you search for online dating advice, when you're looking for how to make my relationship better, or how to get him to how to get my boyfriend to commit to me, or even use the word boyfriend, right? The titles can be really exaggerated, or what I can't wait around forever. When will you propose to me? These kinds of things. And then the soul of my work is beyond that. So when a relationship is really relating to itself in consciousness and fullness and growing together, it comes to more of a not only interpersonal but community level, like a soul level of work, where the influence of your relationship itself starts to have a positive impact on your communities, whether it's your spiritual community, whether it's your teams that you might be managing for your business or your work, whether it's your friends or your family. So the power of a couple is really amazing to have a positive effect on the community, because let's face it, when we've seen really dynamic, happy, joyous couples. There's a part of us, even if it hurts, be like, I don't have that yet myself. There's a part of us that also lights up and says, I want that for myself too. And so it allows people to see a greater vision and future for themselves, to really step into their own power and enlighten an experience that is really invigorating and fulfilling for themselves. And that they too, by doing the same steps I'm going to share more in depth in a little bit with you, they too can have that. So that's why I do this work. I believe that each person is a lighthouse that can radiate a influence that is beyond themselves, especially in relationship. And I'll explain why in a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is talk about 3 key skills, 1 skill for each one of these levels, the heart, the body, or the soul, that is very essential to learn, and what now may go into some of this relationship stage so you can identify where you are or what you might need to learn and grow. So the first one we were talking about was the heart, and here we go, and it's coming down, boom. It might be backwards, but if it's not, that's good too. And in the heart of the work, we're learning about ideal relationship frequency. So what this is to say is to really value and give credit to the knowledge in your heart and your soul, not just your mind, and recognize what would be really life-giving, what would be really fulfilling for you as an individual on a soul level in an ideal relationship. And this is more than just checklists. So checklists are things that tend to be a little bit more surface level, and we wouldn't want to reduce ourselves to checklists. Let's not do that to the partners that we want. Really, we're looking for here in the ideal relationship frequency is to identify the quality of the relating itself, as well as the woman we are in it. And deepening and growing familiarity with this frequency allows you to embody more of this energy, to radiate it with presence, and start to notice the attraction principle. So in law of attraction, there's 2 components, and one is usually very missed. The first is visioning. There's like a sub one of letting go. And the third one is taking action so that there is a platform for it to exist. And without giving yourself this vision of ideal relationship frequency and identifying some key things that are very important to manifesting that ideal relationship frequency, is going to be very difficult to do the next step, which is loving discernment in the body of the work. You like that? Yes, yes. Okay. So loving discernment, what this is about is being able to set yourself up to invite your date or your partner into alignment of this ideal relationship frequency, to see how he responds or how he interacts with this invitation, and then being able to discern lovingly if this is somewhere that that the growth is possible for it to be rewarding, that you like the woman you're becoming, that's similar or alike to the woman you are in the ideal relationship. And then if it is, then you can keep growing. And each step of maturation and making agreements and commitments and deepening your relationship has this process of loving discernment, of leaning in, of observing, and then deciding if it's still good to go. And let's say something isn't working and you've done all you can to make those invitations and to invite him into this vision that you have that is developing and growing thanks to the way he's interacting with it. Maybe it's not the right person anymore. And that's the case where we want to be able to present as much of these opportunities for loving discernment as possible, as quickly as possible, because the sooner that you're able to make that discernment yourself, the sooner you're able to let him go to find a better fit for him, and you also make the space for you to find a better fit for yourself. So lighting issues, my light just wanted to go out, so we'll see how much this light lasts. Okay, so now the third part of loving discernment is that we're really growing towards something, and this is the soul of the work, and this is what I'm going to call the key skill here is the Trinity of relational energies. And what I mean by that is that in an ideal relationship, in conscious partnership that's actualized, what you're going to have is the identity of yourself in full expression, his identity of himself in full expression, and then there is a third energy, which is the relationship or the couple itself. And when each of these people, or I'm going to call the couple, the couple has its own energy too. When each of these has equal weight, it becomes greater than the sum of two people. So two people is not three. It's something that's greater. And that's what allows this influence to really be permeable and effective to the people that are around you, whether it's spoken or unspoken. A lot of times, just being in itself is a vehicle for people understanding for themselves, of aligning to their own truth, to their own light, and their own presence. So the Trinity of Relational Energies has some specific skills that we're doing to be able to discern within ourselves, not only with the interpersonal relationship, but how to keep in line with ideal relationship, keeping our own interests, having our lives work together, and also allowing our lives together to have a greater influence than they would on their own, if that is especially important to the couples. The couples I tend to work with do have their own causes, their own social justice issues, or their own spiritual work. There is something then in common typically that has an impact and influence to other people. Even if, like a lot of people also I work with too, they want to be an example to their children about what a relationship really could look like. And this is really what I mean by the Trinity of Relational Energies, is that these three things together is what a healthy relationship is. And it has the positive effect of representing and modeling what a healthy relationship looks like. So that is the three steps. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into it, but I hope that this little pulse kind of gives you the idea of where you might be if you're really in the stage of getting to know yourself and what you really want, and feeling ready to attract the high quality dates and love that you really want. If you're more in the body of the work where you've begun dating, you have all of your profile set up in the way that's resonating with your ideal relationship, or you have a plan about how you're going to meet somebody physically that's related to your ideal relationship frequency, then you're in the body of the work and you're starting to work on discernment about who to go on dates with in the first place, how to land second, third, fourth dates, how to start to solidify your relationship, how the agreements that make sense when you cohabitate, when you get married, all those things. That's in the body of the work. And the soul of the work is when you're starting to work together as a couple to have a greater influence, whether it's just by being or doing things more consciously, like maybe in some of the events or causes that really are important to you. So with that, I'm here if you have any questions. If you want to dive deeper into any particular subject, just go ahead and message me. And I look forward to continuing to share more about this work and how it fits into this framework and these steps that I've been doing. So thank you and take care. Bye. Mwah.